Hi, everybody, and welcome to Evolve Love. I am your host, Amanda, and I am so happy that you have found this podcast. Are you looking for daily inspiration, motivation, and wisdom to help you begin your day feeling supported and uplifted with love? Well, you have come to the right place. This podcast is a space of encouragement where you can be held in your self-development because in order to evolve, you need love, and it begins here with you. Now, let's get into today's episode. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday and welcome to Evolve Love. It is our Jupiter day, and usually on Thursdays, I do a visualization or meditation exercise that helps us in our expansion. And for today, I actually just want to do a little chat from the heart. And this week's theme, we've really been talking a lot about looking for where in our life we feel in harmony and in balance, and in the places that we don't feel in harmony or in balance. And as I was going about this process through myself, because I do this right alongside you, I have had this constant intuitive hit or nudge, if you will, of this feeling over and over again that I needed to take a break. And it's so interesting because I really want to share through this process here with you because I've been through many different waves of this thought, I can take a break or I can't take a break and, all these things. And it's going to be kind of like an experiment for myself, but I'm kind of hoping that you are going to be a part of this process as well. So what I have been feeling so called to do in a really interesting way, like I said, is to take a break to integrate. I keep feeling this solo quest. I know that's kind of random, but I feel this need to really listen and to put in the time for my own personal practice. And what is why I'm saying this is interesting is because there is no part of me that feels burnt out with Evolve Love. I absolutely love it. It lights me up. Anytime I'm here to have a conversation with you all or to bring ideas into the episodes, even the themes for the week, I am not burnt out in or around any of that. It is so inspiring to me. So when I kept hearing these things okay, take some time for yourself, take some space for yourself, I'm like, why? This is space for myself. I consider what I'm doing here space for myself because it fuels and connects to my inspiration, my creativity, and it makes me proud that I'm following what's on my heart because I feel like I'm following something for a reason. But it still kept coming up, take a break. So I'm okay, let me think on this. And I had some realizations this week as I've been recording. And so I wanted to share about that here in today's exercise for expansion, because even though this might not be an exercise, it's a thought that's going to, I know, help prepare me for my next expansion, which is very exciting to think about that, but with this feeling of, taking a break, partly why I'm thinking about this is because I usually record most of my episodes. It's hard to pinpoint it exactly depending on the structure of the week, but usually I do it in the evenings later at night. And I don't record every single night, but I do record the week ahead. So every time you hear an episode, that's coming out a week or more ahead of, when I recorded it originally. And so my thought process was, if you take a week off recording, the space that you spend with recording, with launching, with editing, that's the space where you're going to deeply meditate, journal. You're going to spend time outside, even though it's nighttime, spend time outside. These are random things, like I said, that have come to me. And with it, it made me realize that this is important for the next step, the next expansion of Evolve Love, that I'm feeling this need to retreat within so that I can be prepared for what is to come and what I am really wanting, like I envision everything for Evolve Love of what it's going to be, like what is coming next. But in order to be fully ready for that, I keep feeling like I need to take a week off. And I even was like, oh, like, no, you know what I'll do? I'll batch record 2 weeks and I'll do 2 weeks of content recorded this week so that I can prepare for that break. But I even was like ready to start it. And a part of me said, no, that defeats the purpose. That goes against what we're trying to do here. What we're trying to do here is take more space for self so that we can hear and connect and feel into what it is that's to come. So even though I was ready to do that, I know the answer now. And it's really funny because I was speaking with a friend on this. So if you know who you are, thank you so much for helping me to process this. But we were talking about the shell meditation that we had last week and the home base theme when we were talking about home base and what it means for us. And the shell that came up for me was an ammonite, which is really interesting because an ammonite is actually, I don't even think they're around anymore. They're like fossilized shells. They're ancient shells. But the meaning behind it had to do with growth, transformation, and ancient wisdom. And it has a spiral pattern to it. It's kind of like ribbed and has like a semicircle type of look to it. And she said to me, does it feel fitting? Like, does the shell that you got, like after you looked up the meaning, does it feel fitting? And I was like, I think it does. Because I think that not only is the meaning about transformation and growth, but the spiral is showing me this inward movement that I need to go into the shell. I need to walk into the spiral to then be able to step out of that shell and expand into the next one. That yes, the transformation is going to come. Yes, the growth is going to come, but it comes from the rest. It comes from the break that I'm going to take. So this isn't a long break or anything, so don't worry. I'm not going anywhere for too long, but it is going to be 1 week off the podcast. And in that week, this is where I'm saying, like, I would love to then share it about it with you all because I do feel like it's going to be groundbreaking for myself, but I have decided that I'm going to do a self-retreat for myself. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. But each day I'm going to set up an itinerary of items that during the time that I would record or edit or launch or anything like that, I'm going to have a specific thing that I do, whether it is a long meditation. Like I would love to try out a meditation that's at least 40 minutes, which is crazy to me. My impatience, even though I'm a very patient person, but like there's a part of me that feels impatient thinking about a 40-minute meditation, but that seems like I'm being called towards that. Deep journaling, just journaling because I want to and seeing what comes of that. Signing up for a class, like going somewhere and taking a class for myself, or even just finding one online, like a YouTube class or something that is like really deeply rooted in soul connection. There are so many other things I have ideas about, even too, just like even like a spa experience night or something, just to give back to myself, my body, my mind, and my soul. And honestly, like if this goes well, I even had the thought like maybe we'll do a at-home based Evolve Love retreat sometime that, you can do the same and give back to yourself. And I know that I'm going to be sharing about it on the podcast the following week. So once I experience this retreat experience for myself, I'm going to share about it, of course, because if it's something that's going to help me, it is my hope that it will also help you. So I'm going on a self-retreat in my own home. And I already am like working on like what it is that I'm going to do. And this is actually really connected to something that I'm going to be launching in August for Evolve Love. But I think the whole point of this is that I need to experience it first before launching it. It's kind of like the practice versus, the practice and the application versus just like the learning about it and the practical, knowledge of it. And it's really funny. I just had this moment, actually, like I was thinking about it. It's like a Harry Potter thing. Like, I don't know if you read Harry Potter or watched the movies growing up, but like it was huge, 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 huge for my age group. And in the book where Professor Umbridge comes in, the class that she teaches, they're not doing any of the magic. They're not doing any of the spells. They're just reading about it. And they're like, well, how are we ever going to be able to do this if we're not practicing it? Like, you can't just learn it by just reading about it. You have to put it into practice. You have to do it. And that's exactly how I feel about this retreat experience for myself, is that I know what I'm going to be launching, but I have to do it myself. I have to like work through it and feel the practice, so that I'm able to then connect it with everybody else. So another reason why I think I'm being very called to this is that Lionsgate is coming up. If you have been in the spiritual community for a while, or you follow any accounts, astrology based or anything like that, or, soul development type of accounts, you probably already know that Lionsgate is coming up. But with this, it's a very beautiful energy. It's a very empowering energy that we can tap into and use for, our best, use for our best selves. But the thing is in the past, I've been I would so overthink Lionsgate, and the fact that I'm not doing it well enough. I'm not giving enough time and energy to it. And now all of a sudden, I just feel like this retreat week that I'm doing for myself is going to be exactly what I need to do to begin that Lionsgate. And so when I share about the retreat, it's actually going to be going into the week of Lionsgate. So I'm hoping that it will support you along the way as we get closer and closer to August 8th, which is the peak of it. So with it, I just keep feeling like I need to go within to learn more, to feel all that it is that I'm, visualizing for Evolve Love. And in the meantime, if there is going to be, a break week off of the podcast, you could always access old episodes. I think they're going to support you in any season or any time that you're in. And then if you haven't already subscribed to my newsletter, it's completely free, and it comes out at the start of every zodiac season. So yesterday, the Leo newsletter dropped, and if you join, you will get that Leo newsletter anytime during the Leo season. But within that too, there's a lot of recommendations about how to support yourself through Leo season. So though there might not be a podcast, episode Monday through Friday next week, what I encourage you to do is look at the newsletter and see what recommendations feel right to you. Look at the playlist that I have provided and listen to the meditation that I've provided and things like that. There's support within that will help to carry you through your week. And maybe for yourself too, taking the week off of the podcast may allow you to drop into yourself, into your soul's thoughts, and to hear your own mind. And even though these episodes prompt you and guide you towards things that will help you within your expansion and your growth, I feel that this is a process that all of us can take and really gain a lot of benefit and beauty from. So if there's no podcast this week, what is calling to you in the week of silence off of Evolve Love? Is there something? And it's funny too, because the one thing that was holding me back is this feeling that, well, if I don't put out episodes this week, I'm going to lose everybody. If there's not content, people are going to fall off and they're not going to want to continue. And I thought about it and I was like, no, because in the podcast space, I always encourage people to follow their intuition, to follow their inner voice. And who would I be as, a person, as a podcast host, as a guide, whatever you want to call me, if I didn't follow my own intuition and my own inner wisdom? Because I think there's something here that is only going to grow us even bigger into the next step of what Evolve Love is going to be. And I'm really proud of myself that I have shown up all these weeks, Monday through Friday, since the beginning. And we're in the 80s in our episodes and everything. It's just so wild to me. I'm very proud of that. But I also know that there is benefit in what I'm going to be doing. And I know that there's going to be benefit in that for you as well. So if you haven't already signed up for the newsletter, like I mentioned, you can find it in the show notes here. You can also find it on my Instagram at _Evolve Love, and the link will be in the bio there. But I'm truly so grateful for all of you. I'm so grateful for your support. So in our expansion process, do you want to retreat within for a little bit with me as we head into the next week? I am so looking forward to checking in with you tomorrow on Friday. I have a really beautiful episode planned for Venus Day, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.